to play a couple fair use segments or parts of this that Scott Galloway, when he was with Ben Stiller, is it Ben Stiller? I think it was Ben Stiller, the actor. But let's listen, and then I have a comment. Let's start
There's
here.
this cartoon of a woman in her 30s who doesn't have romantic love. It's like the greatest tragedy ever. You know, poor Lisa never found romantic love, and now she's in her 40s and she has cats. What a tragedy. Guess what? Lisa's just fine. All of the research shows the following. Men need and benefit from relationships much more than women. Widows are happier after their husband dies. True. This is true. Widowers are less happy.
So that's just a small portion, and I'm going to get into this. It's not that women don't want to be in relationships, because they do. I myself would love to be in a loving, caring, nurturing relationship, right? I would love that, but women have gotten to the point where they don't have the patience for the bullshit, and they don't the type of ideology that is trying to push women back into those situations where they want to be with their cat. They know their cat's not going to stab them in the back in the middle of the night. They know their cat is not going to kick them down the stairs. That's why these women have cats and dogs and not relationships, because they have witnessed as children violence. They witness violence either towards their mother, family members, or what have you. I can go on several channels where some of the ladies are in their 70s and 80s and they talk about their childhood. You know, the Make America Great time, white women. I'm talking about white women. Speaking about white women and what they've witnessed. I can go to a channel, is it called Granny? I'm going to find it. Just one second. Just a minute. Oh my God. I'll find it, and then I'll make a video about it. I have to do the research, but I'll tell you the story anyways. So this woman's in her 70s. She's a beautiful woman in her 70s. She's very vibrant, just very upbeat, and just really, she had her mother on the channel, and it's her son on the channel, and they do, just content. And one of the content was talking about how she witnessed her mother, who I think it was last year or the year before, passed away. Okay, but she used to be on the channel as well. And her mother was in her 90s. And she talked about how her father used to beat her mother, and her mother was gorgeous. They show pictures of the two of them when in their younger years. I mean, oh my God, these ladies were beautiful, and I mean super beautiful. And she talks about how he was hunting the kids down because he was mad at the mother. And we're talking about in the 50s and 60s, the Make America Great Again time, the 50s, the 60s, the 40s, all that shit, right? And she was talking about how her and her brother had to hide under a bridge because her father had a shotgun and he was coming to kill them. Okay? He had already beaten his wife down, but they ran from him. He was drunk. They ran from him, and they were scared. And she said she was petrified. And then she repeated the same cycle when she got married. She picked a man who was abusive and was abusive to her kids, and her son is on the video as well. He's in his 40s. He's a handsome man as well. And they talk about these things. The time when these men claim life was so fucking great for them. So what Scott Galloway didn't say in the start of this video, and I'm going to pull this back up again. Let me see. I think I lost my spot. and he says, Mary's going to be okay with the 5 cats. Yeah, she's going to be okay because she doesn't have any choice. She'd rather choose the cats who are not going to cause her harm on a daily basis than a man who will cause her harm. Not saying all men are going to be harmful in a relationship. There are beautiful relationships out there. There are loving relationships out there. There are men who are spectacular. They are well put together. They are a godsend. They are what I call the divine of God. The man of God. When I say man of God, I'm not talking about religious, churchy type dumb shit. I'm actually talking about men of divinity who are straight from the essence of God. Okay? There are those men. I believe in those men. I believe they exist. I've witnessed them. Okay? But there are some really, really violent natured men. And what the problem is in the society is they don't address those type of men. Abusive men. Men who commit rape against their wives and children. Men who beat their wives and children. Men who use mental gymnastics of abuse towards their wives and children. Not saying women don't do that too, because they do too. But it's more likely for men to commit murder upon women and commit violence. And there you have a society and a government agency that wants to roll back the protection of women. I remember being on YouTube in 2011 and 12 and fighting with the manosphere, and the manosphere telling me, what do you need women's rights anymore? You got all your rights. There's no reason for it. Exactly for these times right now that we are under, where they want to roll down and roll back protections for women and children and actually other men. This is the time that the feminist movement is needed the most. Okay, let me go back to this video, and I want to critique certain things that I hear in it. But let me just say this: the reason why the grandmas are happy after their husbands have passed away, a lot of them are happy because they experienced abuse, and they're finally able to be in their womanhood in peace and harmony. So when he says those statements, he doesn't address why they're feeling that way. He doesn't go and expound on why they feel that way, because he don't give a fuck for women. He don't. He doesn't care that that's the reason why they feel happier. That why Mary never married and she's happy that she never married. It's not that Mary didn't never want to get married. She did. Women want to be married. They want to be in loving relationships. But the men being produced, they're not showing those qualities. Sorry. So let's get this video up. See if I can pull it up.
So check this out. This is our wallet company, Code 118.
YouTube wants to make all their fucking money.
GPS.
Not just one commercial, not two, 3 and 4.
I thought were writing down. Worth writing down. Here are a few. Okay. Tesla is a drunken tourist with a Hublot watch. No idea what that means, but I love it. You can't read the label from inside the bottle. Oh my God.
Because we embraced women in the fact. The third of the population that was white, male, and heterosexual. So when they hear a white dude talking about, oh, poor men, they immediately have a gag reflex, like, oh shit, it's that Andrew Tate weirdness again, trying to set me back, that feels that there's an inverse correlation between women's ascent and men's descent. And the reality is, the reason we won World War II and men got to come home heroes is because we embraced women in the factories. Hitler wanted women to stay.
Let me just say this. I'm a person that reads energy and auras, not auras as in colors, but the energy surrounding the person. I don't know if you pick up on this, if anybody else is picking up on this, but look at the fucking arrogance of this man. Oh my God. Look at his stance. Look at the arrogance. I'm sorry. I just can't. Let's continue.
At home. And we said, fuck that. Women can make P-51s. Let's get them in the workplace. Had women not entered the workplace, had we not had the advancement of non-whites and women through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, America's economy, just on a very, economic joy level, would have crashed. So
the only reason why it was allowable for women is because they didn't have anybody to supply or to make those bombs, to make those ships, to make those tanks, and they needed those women. But as soon as these motherfuckers got home from war, they kicked those women out of these jobs. So he's talking from two sides of his goddamn mouth. They wanted women in those factories. They wanted them in those factories making the bullets and all that stuff for war. They needed it. But as soon as the war was over, these women lost their fucking livelihoods. They couldn't give a fuck less about whether these women were support, or couldn't give a fuck less whether these women lost their husbands or not, and then were destitute after the fact. But they sure as fuck needed those women in those factories at that time. Let's continue.
Left, I think, does not recognize that empathy is not a zero-sum game. Civil rights didn't hurt white people, hetero or gay marriage didn't hurt heteronormative marriage. But when you started talking about men, there was a gag reflex from the left that, wait, you're one of those guys. That your discussion of men is thinly veiled misogyny. That the answers are always going to be
it's very
setting
thickly
back
veiled.
the wonderful rights that we've acquired
there for me. I can see it, identify
and
it
for women. And so I get it that there's a bit of a gag reflex. And effectively what's happening is young men...
He may get it from words, but he don't give a fuck. Let me just say that. He has the arrogance where he would not be willing to change. And this is what I was trying to bring up to Big J. You think this guy is some fucking hero. He's not a hero, okay? He's not. He's not giving men solutions. He's not giving men solutions if they want to be married, why they can't stay married. He's not giving those fucking solutions, Big J. He's not addressing why women don't want to be in relationships. He's not addressing what men should be doing to make themselves more appealing to women, to make the jump, to make the choice to be married. He's not addressing those issues, Big J.
Men are being held responsible for our unearned privilege. We got more opportunities than we deserved. A lot of our success is not our fault. When I applied to UCLA, the admissions rate was 74%. When we applied, now it's 9%. Homes are now 6 times as expensive as they were when we were buying homes. Incomes have gone up twice as much, right? The cost of education has gone up 7-fold. And a young man is now...
This is the reason why I don't like watching things on YouTube from the manosphere, because they only want to address that there's a problem. They don't address what the solution is. They love the problem. This man is making money speaking about the problem and no solution, no cure. He's okay with it's not like people are dumb. They don't know there's a problem. Everybody fucking feels there's a problem. They understand there's a problem. But why can't these motherfuckers ever produce a solution? I have solutions. Even if they're the wrong ones, I fucking can come up with a solution. Why can't these motherfuckers ever come up with a solution? Because it pays. It pays to never produce a solution. It's like the pharmaceutical industry. They have every herb on this earth. There's a cure for everything. There's a fucking cure for everything. But if there's no money to be made in it, the cure will not come out. So the root cause of people's diseases will not be solved. And the same thing with these men who speak about the problems they feel exist, but never get to the root cause of it and never fucking have a solution. Open your eyes, Big J.